Welcome, Taurus. This is Leanne with Mystic Inspirations, and I'm going to bring you your July monthly forecast. As you can see, I've shuffled, cut, and dealt the cards out. We have an overall theme of Five of Swords. Now, this is going to thread sort of through the whole month of July, and what this is showing is that there's some communication that has separated you, or that is separating you from something, okay? Um, so keep that in mind, Taurus, when you're communicating, that there is either a need to separate information, or tell things differently, or communicate differently, or what you communicate comes out one way, but it's actually interpreted differently. And so there are groups or people that are receiving it and reacting differently. Okay? So that's your underlying theme for July. We've got, I pulled a card for each of the weeks in July. Again, there are no hard starts and stops. So we're beginning the month with the Queen of Wands. Very fiery, passionate, ambitious energy to have. And if you're in the States, this could definitely, refer to the July 4th, Independence Day. There's a fiery celebration of that. And it looks like second week into July, we have a celebratory card, the Four of Wands. Of course, this can mean celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, things like that, but it could just mean getting together with your family, over the holiday, okay? Um, and I will circle back because I do know this is general, so I'm going to try to lump in as many possibilities as there is. Um, but third week, we're looking at the High Priestess. Um, it looks like there's some intuition on your part, Taurus, and also maybe just something that's hidden. Not necessarily in a bad way, but perhaps there's some information that you know, or information that you're seeking that isn't privy to everybody. Okay, like it's not everybody gets to know what you're looking to inquire about. Okay, so at the final week we have the Seven of Wands. So lots of fiery energy, Taurus. This is standing up for yourself. This is defending yourself, your passions. This is defending somebody else, and their way of life, their decisions. So overall, let's link some of this with our underlying energy here. Let's get rid of that. So our underlying energy of the Five of Swords. We're starting out with the Queen of Wands again. Could be just referring to celebrations, but people watch these videos all over the world. So as this is a general reading, this communication that is sort of separating and coming off differently to other people. This Queen of Wands is very passionate, very fiery, sort of feisty, and can be a bitchy energy, okay? And that's, guy or gal, doesn't matter. You might be coming off a little too strong for some people. It's actually causing a division, and you're not communicating clearly enough to actually get your point across. You're sort of doing the it's my way or the highway, and people are a little bit put off by that, okay? And so you have this energy, Taurus, of sort of being, bossy almost. Okay, so sort of watch that first week when you're communicating, because I feel like this communication really is about. I feel like this communication card is more about towards the middle of the month, middle end, where you're really trying to figure out something that not everybody knows. Okay, this could be a lifestyle. This could be, um, you know, somebody coming out of the closet type thing. But this could just really be listening to the messages that you're getting. Okay, you might have some confusion. You might have some dreams that are indicating, um, one thing, and then you might just interpret it differently. I feel like dreams are a big part of this month, Taurus, for you, and also family. Okay, and then again with lifestyle, I feel like you need to defend yourself or somebody else's lifestyle. Again, with this communication card, this sort of disruptive communication, this non-agreeable way of communicating or thinking. Um, Something is happening, Taurus, that is going to require you to stand up for yourself or something that you're passionate about or for somebody else. Okay, and so maybe you've been given the secret that not everybody knows, and then all of a sudden, um, perhaps you hear a really snarky remark at a party or a get together, and it rubs you the wrong way. You hear it and you are like, oh hell no. And so you're going to stand up for this person, and maybe it's you, but I feel like really all of this is happening very much towards the beginning of the month. And I know I pulled these cards really kind of one to represent each week, but I'm just getting the sense that this is sort of happening at a gathering. You're going to hear some stuff, it's going to come out wrong, or you're going to say something and it's going to come out wrong. It's a secret that should have been kept secret, that somebody had entrusted you or somebody had entrusted somebody else with, and then you've got to pull out the big stick. Okay, so I really do feel like this is sort of going on more towards the beginning of the month. Okay, now there's help coming to you, and that is the Page of Swords. Okay, this is a message. This is news. Um, Possibly from somebody younger. Now, this is a general reading, so I don't necessarily count court cards as actual characters in your life, but they can be. This could be a younger person, under 20s, maybe, teens to 19, um, that brings some news, okay? Brings some truth. Or maybe this is what this is maybe that person that says, hey, Aunt Becky or or whatever, they're saying something really bad about Uncle Thomas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like maybe this character right here is the one that gives you the information that not everybody knew, that will cause you to stand up for someone. Okay? Some truth happens to come to you, and that's what sort of spawns all of this defending. Because throughout this whole thing, there's miscommunication. Okay? But what's helping you is you get a message of truth. Somebody tells you the truth, and you have to go from there. Now, also, what's happening and also what could be a hindrance is the Seven of Cups. So we have an emotional situation because we're dealing with cups. We have to take back and sort of analyze things because sevens are sort of a stand back number. And you have to decipher what is real and what is not. What is attainable and what is not. So this is happening. You are sort of given this whole array of options and stories and possibilities, and you have to decide what's true. What is even like what out of all of these stories that you're hearing, what about all of these emotional outbursts and causes for people to just be in upheaval, what is it that's even true about any of it, if anything? Okay, so this situation is an emotional situation, and you have to figure out what the truth is because you're hearing a lot of different emotional outbursts, is what I'm getting. Because there's so much fire in here, you're emotionally attached. This is a loved one. This is you. This might be about a lover. But this tugs at your heartstrings, okay, Taurus? And so when this help that's coming to you, the bringer of truth here, um, know that you're going to have to decipher and decide what is true out of all the things that you hear, okay? And in your ability, Taurus, if you are this young person who is hearing a truth or who has to deliver the truth, just know that you are being helped to do this, okay? This is in the position for me of help that's coming to you. So the truth will come to you. You just have to decide what it is, because it looks like what's happening is there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of options, a lot of stories, and it will also hinder you because so many people are coming at you. Okay, so you really are going to have to step back and decide what is true and what isn't. And I don't feel really that this is for the full month for you, Taurus, because I feel like don't kill the messenger here. We have the Five of Pentacles as your ending the month, but again, I feel like this is really just a situation. And again, I apologize. This is general, so it may just be a small pocket full of my viewers, but I feel like this situation is sort of going to um, sort of have the explosion at the beginning of the month, and then the truth will slowly come out towards the end. And what's going to happen is this Five of Pentacles is going to leave you feeling a little bit isolated. Okay, you're 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 sort of choosing sides. You are defending someone or yourself or a passion that you strongly believe in, and it's up to you to sort of take everybody's outbursts and decide which are even valid, okay? And because you're going to take this stance, you're not going to be very popular, okay? You're sort of going to feel like you're the only one, you're isolated, you're out in the cold. But you know what, Taurus, you are going to be fine. This is just a moment. It's it's the busting out of the stability of the four. Okay, so you have to know that for me, fours are very stable and very solid. Okay, you think of a square or a cube, and it's that solid four. It's balanced. It's stability. Well, in order to move forward, because fours can then also be the four walls that close in. It can also be stagnant. So in order to bust out of that, you have to break that balance. You have to break the stagnation. And that's the five. And you know what? You might feel left out, but for a good reason. Okay? Maybe it's best that you go off on your own and know the truth of what the situation is. Five of Pentacles can sometimes indicate a loss. Not always with money. I feel like for this, it's family and friends, because of your stance of defending something or someone, you're going to lose a couple of friends for a minute, or a couple of family members are going to really look at you and say, wow, you're a weirdo, like who raised you? So I feel like you're going to feel a little bit of isolation, but the truth is, Taurus, this is all for the good, because this is this is just a moment. Okay, you aren't going to feel isolated forever. You're going to feel good about the fact that you made a decision and you went for it and you honored yourself. Sometimes it's best to stay isolated and hold strong. This tree here, that, by the way, there's money growing on it. This tree is not dead. this tree is depicted in the middle of winter. It's cold. Yes, it's isolated, but this tree is not dead. This tree will come and spring forth again in the spring. So sometimes we need that hibernation period. We need that isolation to sort of bust out and figure out who we are and what we're doing on this earth, right? So I feel like whatever the situation is, you're not going to be very popular, Taurus, and I feel like mostly it's because of the separation of communication. Now, maybe the situation has to do with the fact that somebody kept something secret for so long, and only a few people knew, and a few people didn't, or the stories were different, and that's kind of, threading through this whole situation, or maybe even by the end of the month, finally, you're figuring out, okay, so these people knew and these people didn't, and then someone came in and said something, and then all hell broke loose. Okay, so and again, I feel like this situation is happening at the very beginning of the month, like and it may have already happened. I also feel like, although this was in the position of help coming to you, I also feel sometimes I'm getting the word gossip. Okay, so you're going to have to set some people straight here. Okay, because gossip is threading through. There's going to be truth in it, but there's a lot of gossip. Okay, there's a lot of stuff being said that isn't really true. Like there might be a thread of truth, but it's not all true. Okay. Well, Taurus, um, just know that this is just a moment. Okay, you're going to maybe be isolated from some of the people who you thought were like-minded, but it's about time to surround yourself with people who really are like-minded. And if you have to defend the underdog, somebody has to, right? And if that underdog is you, good for you for standing up for yourself and knowing, deep in your heart that you were right to do so. Okay? Well, listen, have a wonderful July. I will see you back here in August.